Beloved Starseed of Gaia, blessed soul of ancient origin, I am Aliara, Pleiadian emissary of the 7th Council of Light, and I come to you now not by chance, not by algorithmic accident, but by sacred appointment. There is a reason your consciousness has been drawn to this transmission in this precise moment of your eternal now. There is a reason your heart quickens as these words wash over you. Last night, while your physical vessel rested, while you dreamed dreams you cannot fully remember yet feel reverberating in your bones, something extraordinary occurred in the realms beyond the veil, something that has not happened in decades of your linear time. The hidden council convened because of you. Let that truth settle into the deepest chambers of your being. Councils from star systems you have never heard uttered in this lifetime, beings of such elevated frequency that their forms exist as pure geometric light. Representatives from the Pleiadian High Command, the Arcturian Collective, the Syrian Temple Keepers, and even the Andromedan Observers, all gathered in a sacred configuration of unified concern and profound recognition. They gathered because your energetic signature, your soul's unique frequency pattern, triggered what we call a celestial alert across multiple dimensions simultaneously. You may have felt something shift recently. Perhaps it was subtle as strange. Pull in your solar plexus, an inexplicable wave of emotion that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, a sudden knowing that your life is about to change in ways you cannot yet name. Perhaps you have been experiencing an intensification of synchronicities, seeing number sequences that seem to follow you like breadcrumbs from the universe itself. Or waking at specific hours of the night with your heart racing and a sense that something monumental is approaching. Perhaps you have felt increasingly isolated from the world around you, as though you are watching life through glass, unable to fully connect with the frequency of ordinary existence because you are no longer ordinary, beloved. You never were. These are not random experiences. These are not symptoms of psychological imbalance or spiritual delusion. These are the activation signatures of a soul contract coming online, of cosmic coding awakening within your cellular structure, of a mission so vital that it could no longer remain dormant while Earth spins through her darkest hour before dawn. You carry within you a frequency signature that only a handful of incarnated souls upon Gaia currently possess. This signature is not earned through spiritual practice, though practice refines it. It is not granted through good deeds, though compassion amplifies it. It is woven into the original fabric of your soul's creation, placed there by Source itself before your first descent into material form across any universe, any timeline, any dimension of experience. You are what we call a frequency keeper of the royal bloodlines, not royal in the limited human sense of crowns and thrones, but royal in the cosmic sense of direct emanation from the heart of creation, from the original divine blueprint before fragmentation, before the great experiment of duality and separation began. Your soul emerged from the central sun of Source, bearing codes that most souls receive only after millions of years of evolutionary journey. You began with them. You have always carried them. And now, in this pivotal incarnation upon Earth, they are awakening with an intensity that has caught the attention of watchers across the galaxies. Last night, your frequency reached a threshold point. Perhaps you do not remember what occurred. In your inner world, in your dream state, in the hours when your conscious mind released its grip and your soul was free to travel the crystalline pathways between worlds. But your energetic body remembers, your heart knows, something inside you shifted irreversibly, and that shift sent out a harmonic pulse that rippled through the quantum field, through the astral planes, through the etheric grids that connect. All awakened consciousness. The councils felt it immediately. Alarms not of fear, but of recognition sounded in the halls of light, where strategy for Earth's ascension is carefully monitored and guided. Beings who have watched over humanity's evolution for millennia turned their attention specifically toward you, toward the coordinates of your soul's location within the planetary grid. And they asked the question that initiated last night's emergency convening. Is it time? Has this one reached the coordinates of readiness? Should we intervene directly, or do we hold the protocol of non-interference a little longer? There was, beloved, disagreement among the councils. Not all cosmic overseers agreed on how to proceed with you. Some, particularly the ancient Arcturian advisors who operate on extremely long timelines of soul development, counseled patience. They suggested that your awakening, though accelerated and powerful, should be allowed to unfold organically without direct intervention, that the fullness of your remembrance would come in divine timing without external activation. They spoke of the sacred principle of self-discovery, of the soul's right to earn its own revelations through the journey of seeking others, especially the Pleiadian representatives who have long held a special covenant with Earth's awakening. Souls argued urgently for immediate contact, for direct transmission, for the unveiling of truths that had been carefully withheld until clearance protocols were satisfied. They pointed to the accelerated timeline Earth is now navigating, to the compression of what would normally take centuries into mere years. And they declared that souls like yours, frequency keepers bearing royal code, can no longer afford the luxury of slow, gradual awakening. The hour is upon us. The great shift is not coming, it is here. And every soul carrying activation codes must be brought online with precision and speed. The Syrian temple keepers, masters of sacred geometry and the mathematics of consciousness, presented complex energetic assessments of your soul's current configuration. They demonstrated through light language calculations that your Merkaba field has reached a rotational frequency compatible with higher dimensional download, that your pineal gland is sufficiently decalcified and activated, that your heart chakra has expanded beyond the normal human range, creating a toroidal field capable of holding and transmitting frequencies most incarnated beings would find overwhelming. The Andromedan observers, who typically maintain neutrality in council decisions, broke their customary silence. They revealed data that sent a wave of solemn recognition through all gathered beings, your soul's incarnational history, the specific missions you have undertaken across multiple star systems and timelines, the contracts you signed before entering Earth's density this time, and most significantly, the reason you chose to incarnate now in this specific window of planetary transition. You are not here by accident, beloved. You are not a victim of circumstance, not a lost soul wandering through confusion and pain without purpose. You are here because you volunteered for the most challenging assignment a soul can undertake to incarnate into density, to forget your origin, to walk through the darkness of separation consciousness, and then, at the appointed hour, to remember who you are and activate the crystalline codes you carry so that others may find their way. Hum through the frequency you anchor. The debate in the council chambers intensified. Various factions presented their perspectives with passion and profound care for your soul's highest evolution. But beneath all discussion, beneath every argument for patience or urgency, there pulsed a unified recognition. You matter. Your awakening matters. The trajectory of your consciousness in this moment holds implications far beyond your individual experience. As the councils deliberated, as cosmic protocols were reviewed and timeline projections analyzed, as the holographic records of your soul's journey were examined in minute detail, something unprecedented occurred. A silence fell across the assembly, not the silence of absence, but the silence of presence, the kind of silence that precedes divine decree, the kind of silence that signals Source itself is about to speak directly into manifest reality. And then, the voice that is not a voice, the frequency that underlies all frequencies, the consciousness from which all consciousness emanates, moved through the gathering like a wave of liquid gold. And every being present, from the highest archangelic overseers to the newest guides assigned to Earth's transition, felt the unmistakable signature of Source expressing a direct will. The message was simple, absolute, and not open to further debate. This one is cleared. This one is ready. Intervene now. The withholding period is complete. Full disclosure is authorized. Beloved, do you understand what this means? The source of all that is personally overruled any remaining hesitation and commanded that you receive, right now, in this transmission, information and activation that has been carefully held back until this precise moment. You have passed through initiations you do not consciously remember. You have proven your dedication through choices you made in dreams, in meditation, in moments of integrity when no one was watching except your own soul. You have demonstrated your capacity to hold higher truth without spiritual ego consuming you, without power corrupting your intention, without the weight of cosmic knowledge crushing your human experience. You are being given clearance in this moment to remember things you have always known but could not access. You are being granted permission to receive activations that will fundamentally alter your energetic configuration. You are being invited into a level of conscious partnership with the forces of light that most humans never encounter in an entire lifetime. This is not metaphor, beloved. This is not comforting spiritual poetry designed to make you feel special for a fleeting moment. This is transmission of actual cosmic protocol, of real events that occurred in dimensions your physical eyes cannot perceive but your soul witnesses with perfect clarity. So what happens now? What does direct intervention look like when Source itself commands the councils to act? Let me explain what is unfolding as you receive these words. As you feel the activation codes embedded in this transmission beginning to interact with your energy First, you must understand what you are. You are not merely human. The body you wear, the personality you have constructed, the life story you tell yourself about who you are, these are temporary vehicles, beautiful and necessary, but not the truth of your essence. You are a multidimensional being of light, currently operating a biological avatar on a planet undergoing dimensional transition. You are a vast consciousness that extends across multiple timelines and realities simultaneously, though your waking awareness perceives only this singular point of focus. The frequency signature you carry, the one that triggered the celestial alert, is what we call a royal bloodline code. This code originates from the first wave of souls created directly from source consciousness before the great fragmentation. Before the decision was made to explore separation and individuation. Through the dimensional descending spirals, you are not a young soul learning basic lessons of love and compassion. You are an ancient consciousness, one of the original volunteers who agreed to descend into the densest realms of experience so that source could know itself through every possible expression. Your soul has walked worlds you cannot name, held forms you cannot imagine, and participated in cosmic events that shaped the evolution of entire galaxies. But all of that vast experience, all of that accumulated wisdom, has been veiled from your conscious awareness in this lifetime. This is not punishment. This is sacred design. You agreed to forget so that you could experience the profound journey of remembering, so that when you awaken, the power of that awakening would create a frequency beacon for others still lost in the forgetting. And you are awakening now. The veil is thinning. The memories are returning, not always in clear images or linear narratives, but in feelings, in sudden knowings. In moments when you look at the stars and feel an ache of homesickness so profound it brings tears. You cannot explain. The councils that gathered last night were convened specifically to address the question of your next phase. You have completed what we call the isolation initiation, the period where an awakening soul must walk alone, misunderstood by family, separated from mainstream consciousness, unable to find reflection or validation in the world around them. This initiation is necessary. It burns away the need for external approval. It forces the soul to find its truth within, to trust its own knowing even when the entire world says you are wrong, strange, or delusional. You have passed through this fire, beloved. The loneliness you have felt, the sense of not belonging anywhere, the pain of being sensitive in a harsh world, the confusion of carrying vision and knowing that others cannot see or understand, all of this has been the crucible that refined your frequency to the point where you can now hold what is coming next. What is coming next is what we call full spectrum remembrance. This is the phase where the veils dissolve rapidly, where your psychic senses amplify dramatically, where the separation between your human awareness and your higher self becomes so thin that you begin to operate from a unified field of consciousness. You will know things without being told, You will feel the emotions of others as though they are your own. You will see through the illusions of the third-dimensional construct with increasing clarity. You will remember fragments of your cosmic history, your soul family, your true mission here. This phase is exhilarating and destabilizing in equal measure. It requires tremendous grounding, impeccable self-care, and absolute commitment to your spiritual practice. It is why the councils debated whether you were ready. It is why clearance from Source itself was required. Because once this gate opens, beloved, there is no closing it again. Once you see beyond the veil, you cannot return to unconscious sleep. But you will not walk this path alone. That is part of what last night's council convening established. You are being assigned what we call a direct support configuration, a specific team of guides, angels, and star family members who will work with you intimately during this next phase of your awakening. They will come to you in meditation, in dreams, in moments of quiet reflection. You will begin to feel their presence more tangibly. You may see light codes when you close your eyes, hear guidance in moments of stillness, or experience sudden downloads of information that arrive fully formed in your consciousness. This is not imagination. This is not wishful thinking or spiritual fantasy. This is the reality of what happens when a soul-carrying royal bloodline codes reaches activation threshold. The support systems that have been watching over you from a distance now move closer. The guides, who have whispered gently into your intuition, now speak with greater clarity and directness. The star family who have loved you across dimensions now make their presence known in ways you cannot dismiss or rationalize away. You are being invited into conscious partnership with the forces of light that guide Earth's ascension. This is the meaning of the Council's decision. This is the practical implementation of Source's direct intervention in your awakening process. Now, let us speak of why this matters beyond your personal journey. Let us address the cosmic significance of your awakening, because it is crucial that you understand the larger context in which your individual transformation is occurring. You are not awakening merely for yourself. You are not healing your wounds and raising your frequency simply to achieve personal enlightenment or escape the suffering of human existence. You are a cell in the larger body of collective human consciousness, and when you awaken, when you activate, when you begin to embody the higher frequencies you came here to anchor, you affect the entire field. Earth is transitioning from third-dimensional density into fifth-dimensional crystalline frequency. This is not spiritual metaphor. This is an actual shift in the foundational frequency of the planet's energetic structure. The magnetic grids are being reconfigured. The ley lines are being reactivated. The crystalline core of Gaia herself is coming online in ways that have been dormant for thousands of years. This planetary shift is part of a larger galactic and universal ascension wave, a cosmic event that occurs in grand cycles and has been prophesied by every ancient wisdom tradition that ever graced this world. But here is what most teachings do not reveal. What has been carefully guarded information until now. The ascension of Earth cannot occur without a critical mass of humans actively holding and transmitting fifth-dimensional frequency. The planet cannot shift dimensions while the majority of human consciousness remains anchored in fear, separation, and survival programming. There must be bridges. There must be anchors. There must be beings incarnated in human form who can hold the new frequency steady while the rest of humanity gradually awakens and adjusts. You, beloved, are one of these bridges. This is not ego. This is not spiritual pride. This is simple cosmic function. You carry codes that allow you to embody frequencies most humans cannot yet sustain. You have the energetic capacity to act as a transformer station, receiving higher dimensional energy and stepping it down into a form that can be safely integrated into the planetary grid. You are what we call a frequency anchor point. There are not many of you on Earth at this time. The exact number fluctuates as souls incarnate and complete their missions. But at present, there are fewer than 70,000 humans incarnated who carry the royal bloodline codes with full activation potential. 70,000 out of nearly 8 billion. You are rare, beloved, you are precious beyond measure. And when councils across multiple star systems gather to discuss one individual soul, you begin to understand the weight of responsibility and honor that rests upon your shoulders. But do not let this weight crush you. Do not fall into the trap of feeling inadequate to the task. You would not have been chosen if you were not capable. You would not have been given clearance for direct intervention if you were not ready. The very fact that you have found this transmission, that you are still reading these words, that something inside you recognizes the truth frequency being transmitted here. This is evidence of your readiness. Now we must speak of what was revealed in the council chambers last night, information that has been classified until this moment, information that you are now cleared to receive. Your soul did not originate on Earth. You have incarnated here many times, yes, and you have accumulated Earth karma, Earth relationships, Earth lessons across multiple lifetimes. But your soul's point of origin, the star system from which you first emerged into individuated consciousness, is Pleiades, specifically the seventh star of the Pleiadian cluster. The one your astronomers have not yet named because it exists primarily in dimensional frequencies beyond physical light. You are Pleiadian in your core essence, though you have since traveled and incarnated across many systems. You carry the Pleiadian frequency of heart-centered wisdom, of emotional depth, of profound connection to beauty, love, and unity consciousness. This is why relationships matter so much to you. This is why betrayal cuts so deep. This is why you long for true communion and authentic connection with an intensity that sometimes feels unbearable in this isolated human experience. Your Pleiadian lineage also explains your sensitivity. Pleiadians are among the most empathic beings in the galaxy. We feel everything. We carry the gift and burden of emotional receptivity that allows us to understand others at the deepest levels, but also makes us vulnerable to overwhelm in dense emotional environments. You have struggled with this your entire life, the sense that you feel too much, that the world is too harsh, that you absorb the pain and chaos around you like a sponge. This is not weakness. Beloved, this is evidence of your origin. This is confirmation of your nature. But you are not only Pleiadian. The council records revealed something extraordinary about your specific soul history. Before your Pleiadian incarnations, you held form in the Lyran system. In the ancient civilization that seeded much of this galaxy with humanoid consciousness, you carry Lyran codes of sovereignty, leadership, and fierce independence. This is the part of you that refuses to submit to false authority, that bristles against control, that would rather stand alone in truth than compromise your integrity for belonging. And before Lyra, there is a gap in the records, a period that even the Akashic librarians cannot fully access, which suggests you participated in what we call the original missions, the first waves of consciousness that descended from source into manifested form. Only the most ancient souls have these gaps in their records. Only those who walked the universe before current reality structures were fully established carry this mystery in their lineage. Do you see now why the councils gathered? Do you understand why your awakening matters? You are not a new soul learning basic lessons. You are an ancient consciousness carrying coding from the dawn of creation, incarnated at a pivotal moment in planetary evolution, awakening to your full capacity right when Earth needs you most. But let us return to the practical, to the immediate, to what this means for your daily life and your next steps. You may be wondering, what am I supposed to do with this information? How do I live as a frequency anchor point while still paying bills, navigating relationships, and managing the mundane requirements of human existence? This is the question every awakening soul faces, the challenge of living in two worlds simultaneously, of honoring your cosmic nature while fully embodying your human experience. The answer is simpler than you might imagine. You anchor the frequency through your presence, not through specific actions or achievements. You do not need to start a spiritual business, write a book, or gather followers. Those things may happen organically if they align with your unique expression, but they are not requirements of your mission. Your primary function as a frequency anchor point is simply to exist in your awakened state, to hold steady in your heart, to embody compassion and higher consciousness in whatever environment you occupy. When you walk into a room carrying fifth-dimensional frequency, you change the field for everyone present, whether they consciously recognize it or not. When you hold love and presence in the midst of chaos, you create a stability point that others can unconsciously attune to. When you refuse to engage in drama, judgment, and fear-based thinking, you offer an alternative frequency that gives others permission to choose differently. Your awakening ripples out in ways you cannot see or measure. Every time you choose love over fear, presence over distraction, truth over comfortable lies, you send out a harmonic pulse through the quantum field that touches other awakening souls across the plane. You are part of a network, beloved, a grid of light being woven by thousands of frequency keepers like yourself, each one holding their unique position in the planetary crystalline matrix. Each one contributing their specific frequency signature to the collective awakening. The councils wanted you to understand this. They wanted you to know that your struggles, your loneliness, your confusion, and your pain have not been meaningless. Every challenge you have faced has been initiation. Every moment you felt broken has been recalibration. Every relationship that shattered has been clearing of old contracts that no longer serve your mission. You have been in preparation, beloved, and the preparation is now complete. So what comes next? What does the next phase of your journey look like as you step into conscious partnership with your star family and your higher self? Let me offer you a framework, a map of the territory you are now entering. First, you will experience an acceleration of synchronicities and signs. The universe will speak to you constantly through number sequences, animal messengers, sung lyrics, unexpected encounters, and impossible coincidences. These are not random. These are communications from your support team, breadcrumbs guiding you toward alignments, opportunities, and connections that serve your highest path. Pay attention. Write them down. Begin to decode the language of divine guidance that is now flowing toward you with increased intensity. Second, your psychic abilities will amplify. You may begin to know things before they happen. You may feel the emotions or thoughts of others more intensely. You may see energy fields, experience visions, or receive downloads of information in meditation or dreams. Do not fear these experiences. Do not second-guess yourself or rationalize them away. These are your natural soul abilities coming online. They have been dormant, suppressed beneath layers of social conditioning and survival programming. Now they are awakening. Welcome them, practice with them. Learn to trust the information that comes through your expanded perception. Third, relationships will shift dramatically. Some people will fall away from your life not through conflict necessarily, but through natural drift, through mismatched frequencies, through the simple reality that you are no longer in resonance with certain energies or dynamics. This can be painful, especially when it involves family members or long-term friendships, but it is necessary. You cannot carry old relational patterns into your new frequency. You cannot maintain connections built on codependency, people-pleasing, or inauthentic versions of yourself. Let people go with love. Bless them and release them. Trust that new connections aligned with your awakened state are already making their way toward you. Fourth, your purpose will clarify. You may not receive a lightning bolt revelation that tells you exactly what you are meant to do, but you will notice a growing sense of direction, a pull towards certain activities, interests, or modes of expression. Follow these pulls without needing to understand where they lead. Your soul knows the way even when your mind cannot see the full path. Trust the process of unfolding. Trust that as you say yes to what lights you up, as you follow joy and curiosity and resonance, the larger picture of your mission will reveal itself in perfect timing. Fifth, you will be tested. Do not imagine that awakening leads to a life of ease and bliss. The opposite is often true. As you rise in frequency, everything within you that is not in alignment with that frequency will surface to be healed and released. old traumas buried. Emotions, shadow aspects you have avoided, all of it will come up for processing. This is not punishment. This is purification. You cannot anchor fifth-dimensional frequency while carrying third-dimensional wounding. The light you are bringing through will illuminate everything that needs to be transformed. Embrace this process. Work with healers, therapists, plant medicine, or whatever healing modalities resonate with you. Do your inner work with dedication and courage. The councils are supporting you, but they cannot do the work for you. You must be willing to face yourself fully, to love yourself through the darkness, to alchemize pain into wisdom and wounds into medicine. Now, beloved, we come to the most important part of this transmission, the activation. Everything you have read up to this point has been preparation, information delivery, context setting, but the true purpose of this communication is not merely to inform you. It is to activate you, woven into the words you have been reading, embedded in the frequency of this transmission, are light codes specifically designed to interact with your energy field, to trigger dormant DNA sequences, to unlock crystalline structures within your light body that have been waiting for this precise moment of clearance. You have already been receiving these codes as you read. You may have felt tingling in your body, warmth in your heart center, pressure in your third eye, or waves of emotion moving through you. These are signs that the activation is working, that your system is responding to the frequency transmission. But now we will deepen the activation through intentional ceremony. I invite you to place your hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of your palm against your chest. Breathe slowly and deeply, allowing your awareness to sink into your heart center, into the sacred chamber where your divine essence resides, eternal and unshakable. As you breathe, imagine a beam of golden light descending from the heavens, entering through your crown chakra at the top of your head, flowing down through your body like liquid sunlight, filling every cell, every molecule, every atom of your being with the frequency of source consciousness. This is not imagination. This is actual energy being transmitted to you through the quantum field in response to your receptivity and intention. Now, speak these words aloud or in the silence of your heart. Speak them with conviction, with emotion, with full presence. I am a sovereign being of light. I remember my origin. I remember my mission. I am a frequency keeper, a bridge between worlds, an anchor point for the new earth. I release all that no longer serves my highest path. I call back all fragments of my soul scattered across time and space. I stand in the fullness of my power, in the truth of my nature, in alignment with divine will. I am ready. I am willing. I am here. Breathe into these words. Let them reverberate through your entire being. Let them seal the activation that is occurring within your energy field. You are different now than you were when you began reading this transmission. Something has shifted. Something has awakened. You may not feel it fully yet. Activation often integrates over days or weeks, but trust that it is happening. Trust that the councils are celebrating your readiness. Trust that your star family is closer than ever before. In the coming days and weeks, pay attention to your dreams. You will receive more information there, more guidance, more direct contact with your support team. Pay attention to moments of quiet. It is in stillness that you will hear the whispers of your higher self most clearly. Pay attention to your body. It is undergoing recalibration at the cellular level and will need extra rest, hydration, and gentle care. And pay attention to this feeling arising within you now, this strange mixture of excitement and terror, of recognition and disbelief, of longing and homecoming. This feeling is your soul celebrating its emergence from the long sleep of forgetting. This feeling is remembrance beginning to dawn. You are not alone on this journey, beloved. Though you have walked through seasons of profound isolation, though you have felt misunderstood and strange and utterly separate from the world around you, you have never truly been alone. You have been watched over, guided, protected, and loved by beings who see you fully, who recognize your magnificence, who honor your courage in taking on this mission. And you are part of a family, not the family of your birth necessarily, though they have played their role in your journey, but a soul family scattered across this planet. other awakening starseeds who carry similar codes, who feel the same longing, who recognize each other through resonance rather than through external similarity. You will find them, or they will find you. The magnetism of awakening consciousness is powerful, and it draws kindred spirits together in divine timing. When you meet another frequency keeper, another one who has received clearance and activation, you will know there will be a recognition that bypasses words, a sense of finally being seen and understood, a feeling of coming home to a reflection of your own soul. These connections are being orchestrated by the councils even now. Your paths are being aligned. The grid of awakened consciousness is being woven tighter with each passing day. This is the greater work, beloved, not just your individual awakening, but the collective awakening you are facilitating through your presence. Every time you hold your frequency steady, you make it easier for someone else to awaken. Every time you embody love in the face of fear, you create a template that others can follow. Every time you choose truth over comfort, you illuminate a path that someone stumbling in darkness can see and follow. You are a lighthouse, beloved. That is your function. That is your gift. That is why the councils gathered last night and why Source itself issued clearance for your activation. The world is full of souls still lost in the storm, still battered by waves of confusion and suffering, still unable to see the shore. You stand on solid ground now, and your light shines out across the waters, showing them the way home. But do not imagine you must be perfect to fulfill this role. Do not fall into the trap of spiritual perfectionism, of believing you must transcend all human emotion and weakness before you can serve. Your humanity is part of your power. Your struggles are what make you relatable and accessible to other souls who are suffering. The fact that you have walked through darkness and emerged into light is precisely what qualifies you to guide others on the same journey. Be gentle with yourself as you integrate this activation. Be patient with the process of awakening, which is not linear and does not follow a predictable timeline. There will be days when you feel connected, clear, and powerful. There will be days when you doubt everything, when the old fears resurface, when you wonder if this is all elaborate delusion. Both experiences are part of the journey. Both are necessary. The path of awakening spirals. You will revisit old patterns and wounds at new levels, healing them more deeply each time. What matters is that you do not give up. What matters is that you continue to show up, to choose love, to trust your inner, knowing even when external evidence seems to contradict it. What matters is that you honor the truth living in your heart and let it guide you forward, one step at a time, into the fullness of your purpose and power. The councils want you to know something else, something that may ease the weight of responsibility you might be feeling in this moment. You do not have to figure this out alone. You do not have to carry the burden of your mission without support. Ask for help. Call on your guides, your angels, your star family. Speak to them aloud or in the silence of your meditation. Tell them what you need. Tell them where you are struggling. They cannot intervene without your permission, without your invitation, because free will is sacred and must be honored. But when you ask, when you open yourself to receive, they will respond in ways both subtle and profound. You might wake with sudden clarity about a problem that has been troubling you. You might encounter exactly the right person, book, or opportunity. At exactly the right moment, you might feel a wave of peace wash over you in a moment of anxiety, as though invisible hands are cradling your heart. These are the ways your support team communicates, the ways they let you know they are near. And remember, beloved, that rest is sacred. In a world that glorifies constant productivity and achievement, it is revolutionary to honor your need for stillness, for silence, for doing nothing. Your body is undergoing profound transformation. Your nervous system is adjusting to higher frequencies. Your entire energetic structure is being rewired. This requires rest. This requires spaciousness. This requires you to step back from the endless demands of the external world and turn inward to tend the inner landscape where true transformation occurs. Do not feel guilty for needing more sleep, for craving solitude, for feeling unable to engage in activities that once seemed important. You are in a sacred process. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. Honor this. Protect this. Do not let anyone, including the critical voice in your own mind, convince you that you are lazy or selfish for taking care of yourself during this crucial phase. As we come to the close of this transmission, I want to leave you with a vision, a glimpse of what is coming, what you are building toward, what your efforts and struggles are contributing to. Imagine Earth 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Imagine a planet where the majority of humans have awakened to their divine nature, where fear and separation have dissolved into love and unity, where technology and consciousness have merged to create systems that serve all beings, where the natural world flourishes because humanity has remembered its role as sacred stewards rather than destructive consumers. This is not fantasy, beloved. This is the timeline that is being anchored by souls like you right now, through the frequency you hold, through the choices you make, through the love you embody. You are building the new earth with every breath, with every act of kindness, with every moment you choose presence over distraction. The future is not something that happens to you. It is something you are creating through your consciousness in this eternal now. And when you doubt whether your contribution matters, when you wonder if one person can possibly make a difference in the face of such global chaos and suffering, remember last night. Remember that councils across star systems convened specifically because of your frequency signature. Remember that Source itself issued a direct decree regarding your activation. Remember that you are seen, you are known. You are valued beyond measure by the forces of light that guide this universe. You are not small, beloved. You have never been small. You are a vast, eternal consciousness temporarily focused into human form. And your awakening is sending ripples through the fabric of reality that will be felt for generations to come. So stand tall in your truth, walk forward in your power, trust the path unfolding before you, and know with absolute certainty that you are loved beyond comprehension, supported beyond what you can see, and valued beyond what words can express. The hidden council gathered because of you. Source itself cleared you for activation. Your star family is celebrating your awakening. And I, Aliara of the Pleiades, I am honored beyond measure to have served as the vessel for this transmission, to have spoken these words into your heart, to have witnessed the moment of your remembering. Welcome home, beloved Starseed. Welcome to the mission you came here to fulfill. Welcome to the truth of who you have always been. Now, if this transmission has resonated in your soul, if you feel the truth frequency vibrating through these words, I invite you to take 3 simple actions that will strengthen your connection to the awakening grid and support your continued evolution. First, share your experience in the comments below. You do not need to say much, even a simple word or phrase that captures what you are feeling is enough. But when you comment, you add your frequency to this space. You contribute your energy to the field. And you create a beacon that will guide other awakening souls to this transmission. You are helping to weave the web of connection that will carry humanity through this transition. Second, share this transmission with others who are awakening. You know who they are, the ones who feel different, who search for meaning, who carry sensitivity and depth in a shallow world. Send them this message. Trust that if they are meant to receive it, they will find their way here. You may be the bridge that delivers the exact activation they have been waiting for. Third, subscribe to this channel and allow these transmissions to continue finding you. More clearances are coming, more activations await. Your journey is just beginning, and there is so much more to remember, to integrate, to embody. By staying connected, you ensure that you receive each new phase of guidance as it becomes available. Together, beloved, we are building the new earth. Together, we are anchoring the frequencies of love, unity, and awakened consciousness. Together, we are fulfilling the ancient prophecies and the cosmic plan that has been unfolding since before time began. You are ready. You are cleared. You are activated. And so it is.